Picture this, and don't lie to yourself while you listen. You've been hitting the gym for 2 years. Not casually, seriously. You're disciplined, consistent, in shape. Your business works, 6 figures, real money, not dreams, not excuses. You drive a good car. You dress well. You look like a man who has his life together. On paper, you are exactly what dating coaches tell men to become. And yet something feels wrong. Women are polite to you, friendly, warm, respectful. They go on dates with you, but they don't crave you. You're always the one texting first, planning, investing, chasing momentum. They stay emotionally distant, always just out of reach. No hunger, no obsession, no urgency. You feel it in your gut. Something is off. Then there's him. Your friend. Small apartment. Old car. No status symbols. No impressive resume. On social media, he's invisible. And yet women lose their minds over him. They blow up his phone. They chase his attention. They worry about losing him. They do things for him they would never do for you. And you can't understand it, because logically, this makes no sense. Here's the uncomfortable truth no one tells you. What if everything you've been taught about attraction is backwards? What if the very things you're proud of are the same things quietly killing women's desire for you? What if your achievements don't make you attractive, but actually signal weakness at a subconscious level? This isn't dating advice. This is a demolition. Because women don't get addicted to what you've accomplished. They get addicted to who you are when no one is watching. And that's where most men fail. You've been trained to perform, to prove, to earn worth. You've optimized your external life while completely neglecting your internal position. And women don't respond to resumes. They respond to psychological hierarchy. Within seconds of meeting you, a woman's subconscious asks one question. Is this man above me or below me? Not morally, not socially, energetically. And here's the cruel irony. The harder you try to impress her, the faster you place yourself beneath her. Every attempt to prove your value says the same thing. I'm not sure I'm enough. And once that message is transmitted, desire dies. Meanwhile, the man who doesn't explain himself, doesn't sell himself, doesn't chase validation, is automatically placed above her. Not because he's better, but because he doesn't need her approval to feel whole. That's where obsession starts. Not with looks, not with money, not with status, but with internal position. And we haven't even touched the biggest lie yet. Because next, we need to destroy the fantasy that attraction works like a checklist, and expose why men who do everything right end up completely invisible to women. Men were sold a lie, a dangerous one. You were told attraction works like a checklist. Get fit, make money, build status, learn confidence, develop game. And if you stack enough of these traits, women will automatically desire you. This is the blueprint society handed you, and it's completely wrong. Not partially wrong, not outdated, backwards. Because attraction does not activate when value is accumulated. It activates when value is assumed. Most men spend years upgrading their external lives while broadcasting one fatal message internally. I am not enough yet. And women feel that immediately. They don't hear it with their ears. They feel it in your presence. Here's the part that hurts. A man who believes he must earn attraction will never receive it freely. Why? Because effort to prove worth is proof of insecurity. Every time you try to impress her, your nervous system betrays you. Your tone tightens. Your body leans in. Your attention becomes outcome-focused. And her subconscious translates it instantly. This man wants something from me. And desire collapses the moment you want something from her. The men who follow the checklist end up confused and bitter. They did everything right. They checked every box. And still, women stay distant. Because the checklist never addressed the real question. Where do you place yourself internally, above or below her? You can have money and still be beneath her. You can be fit and still be beneath her. You can be successful and still be beneath her. Hierarchy is not external. It's psychological. Women don't fall for men who have value. They fall for men who assume value without needing confirmation. That's why the broke guy with calm certainty beats the millionaire who needs admiration. That's why the man who doesn't explain himself beats the man with perfect answers. And that's why chasing attraction is the fastest way to kill it. The checklist trains men to seek validation. And validation seeking is anti-sexual energy. Sexual polarity requires one thing above all else: a man who is rooted in himself, not chasing approval, not selling identity, not auditioning for desire. The checklist turns men into performers. And performers never get chosen. They get evaluated. Women don't want to evaluate you. They want to feel pulled. And that pull only happens when you are not trying to generate it. This is why men who do everything right often feel invisible, and why men who don't care seem to bend reality around them. But now we need to go deeper, because once you understand how women rank men subconsciously, everything finally makes sense. Women don't get to know you first. They rank you, not consciously, not maliciously, instantly. Within seconds of meeting you, her nervous system makes a decision. And once it's made, it rarely changes. She doesn't analyze your income. She doesn't calculate your potential. She doesn't measure your effort. She reads one thing: your internal position. Before you finish your first sentence, she already knows whether she feels above you or below you. And that position determines everything. If she feels above you, attraction dies quietly. She may still be polite. She may still talk to you. She may even go on dates. But desire never ignites. If she feels below you, something very different happens. Curiosity, tension, alertness. Her attention sharpens. Her emotions activate. This is the beginning of attraction. Not because you're better than her, but because you are unmoved by her. And this is where most men fail. They mistake attraction for approval. They believe if they are liked, desired, validated, they are winning. But liking is not attraction. Approval is not desire. In fact, the men women approve of the fastest are often the least attractive. Because approval is given downward, desire moves upward. Here's the brutal truth. When you try to be liked, you lower yourself. You lean in. You adjust. You explain. You soften. And she feels herself rise above you. Not intentionally, biologically. And once she's above you, her body shuts down attraction. No amount of charm fixes this. No amount of effort reverses it. That's why men get stuck in endless, almost relationships. Almost attraction. Almost intimacy. Almost commitment. Women sense their hunger, their need, their attachment to outcome. And hunger kills polarity. The men women obsess over don't demand attention. They don't chase clarity. They don't ask for reassurance. They are comfortable in uncertainty. They are calm without answers. They don't try to secure her interest. They let her wonder, and that wondering is where desire lives. A man who is at peace without validation forces her nervous system to work. She has to lean in. She has to engage. She has to invest emotionally. And investment creates attachment. This is why explaining yourself too much is dangerous. Why justifying your intentions is deadly. Why emotional transparency too early destroys tension. Women don't bond to what is available. They bond to what requires effort. Not effort from you, effort from them. And once you understand this ranking system, you stop trying to impress. You stop chasing signals. You stop performing masculinity. You simply occupy it, because masculine presence doesn't ask. It doesn't negotiate. It holds. And that's exactly what we need to unpack next. This is where everything changes. Not tactics, not lines, not strategies, not effort, state. Your internal state decides everything. Women don't respond to what you do. They respond to who you are being while you do it. Most men never understand this because they live entirely outside themselves. They build bodies, businesses, and lifestyles, but internally they remain tense, reactive, and approval-seeking. And no matter how polished their external life looks, that inner instability leaks through in every interaction. Women feel it immediately. Not logically, but viscerally. A man's internal state is the emotional environment he brings into the room. Calm or anxious, grounded or restless, complete or hungry. When your nervous system is settled, when you are not seeking anything from her, when your sense of worth does not rise or fall based on her reactions, something powerful happens. Her system starts to orient toward yours. This is the core mistake men make. They believe attraction is created by doing more, saying more, proving more. But attraction is created when nothing is missing inside you. When there is no urgency in your voice, no need in your body, no hidden agenda behind your attention. A man who is internally complete doesn't rush connection. He doesn't chase clarity. He doesn't force momentum. He allows space, silence, uncertainty. And that space is not empty, it's charged. It invites her nervous system to step forward, to engage, to invest emotionally. That investment is what creates attachment. This is why women become obsessed with men who are emotionally unavailable in the traditional sense, but deeply present. Not cold, not distant, just not dependent. He enjoys her, but he does not need her. He desires her, but he is not anchored to the outcome. And because his internal world is stable, she begins to experience him as solid, grounded, and rare. The irony is brutal. The moment you stop trying to create attraction, attraction begins to form. The moment you stop needing her validation, she starts seeking yours. Not because you manipulated her, but because her biology responds to emotional leadership. And emotional leadership only comes from internal peace. This is also why nothing kills attraction faster than neediness disguised as vulnerability. When you open up in order to be reassured, when you share emotions hoping she will soothe you, when you look to her to regulate your inner state, polarity collapses. She doesn't feel closer. She feels heavier. The men women attach to regulate themselves first. They don't outsource emotional stability. They don't lean on women to feel whole. They can be alone without feeling empty. And because of that, their presence feels safe, strong, and anchoring. This is the real secret. Not dominance. Not charisma. Not confidence as a performance, but internal peace. A man who is okay whether she stays or leaves. A man who does not need to be chosen to feel chosen in himself. When you reach this point, attraction is no longer something you chase. It becomes a byproduct. Not just with women, but with people in general. Because grounded men change the emotional climate around them. Others feel it, and they respond. This is where it ends. Not with a trick, not with a promise, but with a choice. Become internally complete, or stay externally impressive and internally empty. Because women don't get attached to effort. They get attached to state.